This is how it works, folks. Union wants $6 an hour of the employee wages because they're going to represent them. They're going to make sure they have medical insurance. They're going to make sure that they, save them from all the bad laws that France makes. That's the same thing here in the United States of America. Some of the unions are saying, well, if you're going to make some of these illegal aliens legal, well, you're going to have to send them through the union because they want those $6 an hour. But the union's self-interest is there.
I think, yes, there is self-interest, but I think that the immigrants could also be served by getting some kind of legal working status because they are definitely a big part, especially of this food industry in France, and why not? They're working hard for it.
So I was sent this story about outsourcing of law business to India.
Okay.
Now, we have talked about this for a while now. I didn't realize that it is really starting to catch on. From 40 firms in 2005, it has grown to 140 firms in 2009. Now, I want to tell you, folks, there is a lot of work that's research-oriented. And there are good lawyers in India that can actually do that work. Of course, they know that they cannot give a legal advice. That's a no-no. So the companies, there are certain lawyers from here, they're going out to India and actually starting a law firm. They are the lawyers that can practice in America, but the lawyers that they hire at 1/10 or sometimes 1/3, if they're very, very experienced, cost comparing to United States.
Wow.
How do you compete with them? But now, a small law firm in America, with say 5 lawyers or 10 lawyers, can do an enormous amount of work because most of the research work, most of the filings, most of the other things can be done back in India.
Office of the world, right?
That's right. But you know, we here at Darshan always say jobs, jobs, and jobs. Hey, folks, these jobs are leaving the United States. But you know, you can't stop globalizing. You just can't stop globalizing because this is not 1 or 2 people. These are firms all over the country. They're all looking at this model, and they're all going for it. Now, what will stop, for instance, you know, you take one of the big firms here. How about if they send a partner to India, and they say, okay, you're going to be the partner for the firm, you're going to stay there, and then you hire all these other lawyers, and then make sure that you check their work, that they're doing right, but let them do the research, because the research is on computer, and it can be accessed anywhere in the world.
Right, exactly.
And the Indian lawyers are preferred because they are very well educated. That LLM degree that they get, it appears like it's very, very acceptable to the American lawyers. So, you know, we can't stop globalization. Every time I look around, boom, there goes another set of jobs.
We've all heard many times that money does not buy you happiness. There's nothing new about that. But a lot of research lately has not been about whether or not money buys happiness, but how you spend your money really matters. And it's not just about acquiring things and objects and, you know, regular consumer buying, shopping, going out to the malls, but instead we're talking about your quality of life and buying experiences. When you spend your money, the research is showing, on experiences like travel, like spending time with family, like going to concerts and taking classes and learning, those kinds of experiences build memories, and they actually can contribute to happiness because they also are often contributing to stronger relationships. Whereas the kind of consumption that we're used to, which is actually going to the mall and buying a lot of stuff and having that accumulate, doesn't work because a lot of the pleasure you get from that stuff goes away very quickly. It doesn't last.
You know, as a parent, I tell you a story that every month, if you just have one thing that you do with kids, folks, 18 years that they live with you, man, they will have a ton of memories, good memories. If you do that one thing a month, that's something that they will remember.
Exactly. And you know, I was wondering, how are businesses responding to this? Especially given the recession, people are changing their lifestyles, they're not spending at the same rates as they used to. Look at what Walmart did. They were kind of catching on to this during 2008, and they were noticing that families were tending to kind of vacation in their own yards and having staycations and that kind of thing. So what they did was group items in their stores that would turn any den into a home movie theater or transform a backyard into a slice of the Catskills. Basically, they started selling an experience. It wasn't just about where you find these different objects in the store. It was grouping them in such a way that a family could go into that store and imagine what it would be like to buy these things and have a much more simple vacation, spending time together, and they would buy the stuff at Walmart. So again, retailers are going to need to make this experience more real for people.
That's right. You got to have a good customer experience, you know. But I like the window shopping idea too, you know. I mean, that brings joy. I remember if you can take the little girl, so mother can take the little girl out for window shopping and look at all those nice dresses. When you grow up, you can wear this. And I mean, that itself is fun, brings happiness, doesn't cost nothing.
Well, that's true. There's window shopping. And one point you just brought up is the whole idea of anticipation, because the other thing these studies are talking about is that if you're looking forward to something, anticipating it, it's more likely that you'll have happiness from that than something that you can get immediately and it doesn't really last very long. And a couple of other examples of the way that retailers are responding. Automakers offering 30-day test drives to people. So you have, again, an experience with the product. We're talking about clothing stores offering personal shopping services so that when you go to the store, it's not just about finding